Everybody. I am going live because I'm lazy. I don't feel like and we're doing all that jazz. So uploading a video, editing a video, and doing all that jazz with people who have been personal in my life um, know that right now would be a whole hell of a lot of work. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm going to give y'all a story time of what's going on in my life right now. And then if you don't catch it, I'll just edit it and put it on. Well, not edit it. I'll probably add some music because talking to people, just hearing someone talk, I think can be a little bit boring. I hope this is in the shot because I'm gonna take a poll on this later. I don't know. This is what I'm painting right now. I have a certain feel for it. Like I want it to be kind of a metallic yellow. So I went to Hobby Lobby, and this thing goes swerve. She gonna swerve on me. I went to Hobby Lobby, and I bought it just plain wood. And I put metallic spray paint on it. It kind of gave it a sheen, but I also have these leaf flaking because I want it like bam, bold, like look at that. And then I also have this paint, which came from Hobby Lobby as well. See, the thing is now, when you always see leaf painting or leaf, Hachi, I'm on TV. Whenever you see like leaf on, when people doing gold leaf, you never see them apply glue. Like, at least I haven't seen them apply glue. Now, this, when I was reading the instructions, it said, number one, apply a thin layer of leaf adhesive. I never have heard of that. I am confused. So we're about to see how this rolls. And I don't know why it keeps locking my screen. Well, you know what? Let's auto rotate. It says auto rotate. I'm sorry. On my screen, it's telling me that the device rotate device screen, but it has a lock. And I have a feeling if I hit that X button, it's going to take me out live. So, whatever. This is what we're going to do. We're just going to roll with it. So, I was kind of getting vlogs out there kind of on a normal basis. Um, in June, I can't say it was not the best, but it was a little bit. See, and here we go. But I'm upside down. Oh, jeez. I know. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Is that better? Let's see. Can you see the thank you better? Not really. Uh, uh, She is having issues. Man down. I don't know what this is doing. She is not being... Okay, so... Oh, we gonna rotate. Okay, the device rotated. But why does it say device screen on there? I don't want to... As I lean half my body in this thing. In the shower. Oh. It says it rotate device. But when I'm doing it like that, maybe that's it right there, this spot. You can see the hello. I'm done messing with it. There we go. Alright, so I was becoming a little bit constant, you know, staying determined, getting, you know, just being positive and stuff like that. And June 30th, my mom had a stroke. Thank goodness we all live together. At one time, I was really agitated about that. So first, I'm going to take this gold. It's called the Folks. It's from Folks Flirt, I guess. I don't have my glasses on. You get it at Hobby Lobby. It is Flirt Gold Treasure. And I'm going to see how that looks on it first. I'm going to put a layer on and see how that looks. And hopefully before the layer dries, if it doesn't look good, I'm going to go ahead and slab that gold. Because I think that's the look I'm more going for. But I still want to see how this, like, it doesn't look antique-y. And then I have a variety of wreaths. But right now there's only 2 wreaths I can see this. Well, kind of 3. Depending on how big. Yeah, I can see it going on a couple of wreaths. And I'm going to put a poll up on my Instagram page. And then, or a poll up on Facebook. I don't know how many polls I put somewhere. Leave it up for a couple of days and see what y'all come up with. And I have a feeling that I already know what wreath y'all would like. So I want to make sure that one goes up. But, so getting back to the story. My daughter comes in the room, and she's old, not like old, but she's an adult. She comes in the room and she tells me that Granny, it sounds like she's crying. And I'm like, okay. And I said, well, go in there and check on her. And you know how kids are. You know how they're going to tell you about the situation, but they don't want to go. I'm just channel news. I'm just reporting the story. So, then she's going back, and I tell her, okay, well, I'm about to go check on her. And I'm getting ready to get up off the bed, and it was funny because we all took a nap at the same time. It was a Sunday, I believe. It was kind of rainy, looking outside, and we all kind of was like, oh, we're going to lay down at blah, blah, blah time. I normally don't sleep with my door open. I think we all had, like, our doors open. It was just, like, one of those Sundays. You just, blah. So, she tells me, my mom calls my daughter's name and asks, can she bring her some water? And then I'm like, cool, there ain't nothing wrong with her. She's asked for some water, blah, blah, blah. So, after she brings her the water, I ask, how is she? And she said, she's on the floor, and I think she peed herself. Granted, I don't even know if she was going to tell me this if I didn't ask how she was doing. So I'm like, on the floor. So then I go in there and I see that her right side of her body's curled up. And she's like, I think my arm just fell asleep. I don't know what's going on. She was like, and then I asked her, did she pee? And she said yes. And I asked her, what was her date? What was today's date? And she got pretty much all the answers right. But with her left side getting that Bell palsy, um, having been a nurse, or not having, I'm not a nurse, but but I have been where people have had strokes. I have worked in facilities where we have put a patient on a machine, um, on a dialysis machine, and halfway through treatment, they don't remember who they are, or they don't remember they had a stroke during the event. So, or during the treatment. So then we take them off, whatever, send them to the hospital. So my first thing is I tell her where to call 911, and she's on the phone with 911. I'm trying to get her to sit up because I know it's going to be kind of hard for them to get her out the house. 911 tells me don't sit her up just in case she hurt herself or something else while she's falling. I'm like, duh. So they ambulance comes, get her, take her to our local hospital, and that is not the Metallica I was going for. I already knew that. So let's see what this gold leaf's talking about. So then, from there, we go to local hospital. The hospital, since it's within so many hours of the event, they send her to another hospital. We go to another hospital, and she's in ICU for 14 days because her blood pressure is just so out of control. Yeah, you don't need no. I don't think you need any. Let's see, because her blood pressure is just so out of control. Um, she's in there for 14 days. So then now normal rooms opened up. My mom has no health insurance. Normally if you don't have health insurance, you get a 30-day free stay in the hospital. And it's true because my mom's coming up on her 30 days. And now they're trying to do whatever to get her out the hospital because her neurologist said they have done all she can do. Now it's just nothing but rehab, staying positive, and getting recovery. They're done. So I'm like, okay. So during this whole process, I get this caseworker who is a piece of doo-doo caca. Doo-doo caca. Doo-doo caca. I mean, I don't know if it looks good. Okay, let me put a little bit more because some of it is flaking off and some of it isn't. I don't know if it's because it's these crumbles and not sheets. It's like sticking to itself. So, I get this caseworker, or my mom has a caseworker, and as my mom, mentally has kind of, sometimes she's good, sometimes she's not. Let's put it like that. Sometimes she's an adult, sometimes she's not an adult. And you can tell just by the way she will say something that, you're probably not gonna get the adult response we want out of this conversation. So, we're talking, so me and the caseworker's talking, and she tells me the only two things that my mom needs to get is she needs to get on Social Security and disability, SSI, SSDI, and that will help her. So I'm like, okay, so I apply for Social Security, and or I start the disability process with her. So I'm supposed to be waiting for a letter to come in the mail, and they're like, no, you're gonna want to call them up because they're gonna take forever to send you that letter out. See, it's giving it, but it's curling up. Oh my gosh, I think I am gonna need that glue because it's not staying down. I don't know if because the brush made it curl up. But I thought you were supposed to be able to use a brush to put it on here. What's today? Is it Saturday? Why can't Hobby Lobby be on the freaking of DoorDash? That'd be great, wouldn't it? I would have so much freaking Hobby Lobbies in my freaking house if I can just DoorDash like little stuff like, oh, I just need to pick up some glue. Bloop. Which I didn't even see while I was up there. Oh. Oh, anyway, let me get back to the story. So, what happened? So, she really hasn't been helpful because during this whole thing, she's like, well, physical therapy says one thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I have gone to physical therapy. I haven't seen physical therapy since she was in ICU, and they only sat her up twice. And then I was like, her legs didn't even touch the floor, and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, do you think your mom... A lot of things is because my mom's overweight. And it seems like the medical care... the medical system is fat phobia. Like, if you're fat, you're going to get the help you need, but you're going to need everything. You're going to need all the bells and whistles. You're going to need insurance. You're going to need Medicare. You're going to need Medicaid. You're going to need disability. You're going to need everything and anything that you could think of that you're going to need. That's what you're going to need because we're not just going to lift your heavy ass and our workers are liable. You know, we got to worry about our workers and blah, blah, blah. And I get it. I mean, like I said before, I worked in a dialysis clinic. Not everybody was skinny. And that's why they give you equipment so you can handle that stuff. You know, I mean, who's deadlifting 400 pounds to get someone in a chair and not and get paid to be a nurse? Nobody. That's why they have machines and they have multiple people to help you move. That's why there's education on how to move patients. But anyway, I mean, I even see it when I'm there at the hospital and they're like, oh, we just changed her. Sometimes people gotta shit more than twice a day. I mean, I heard that you need to shit 3 times a day. They're giving her puree food. It's not gonna take long to have to shit again. Especially like you ate, an hour afterwards, you better be ready. She's gonna have to shit again. So, I don't know. So anyway, she's telling me this. I'm like, well, what about rehab? She's like, she doesn't qualify for rehab because pretty much she told me because she's fat. Then I kind of ranked off to the nurse, and the nurse was like, yeah. And finally, yesterday, so I'm like, well, if I can get her health insurance, what's going to happen then? They were like, well, if you get her health insurance, we can try to see can we get her to a nursing home. And I'm asking her, you know, like, do I call the nursing homes? I'm asking her questions about who should reach out to a nursing home, how long do I have, should I just call them all or do them one at a time? Like, what should I do? And she's like, well, whatever you want to do, I'm just the middleman. Okay, because right now it seems like me and my mom are the middleman, and we're just listening to what y'all tell us to do. So, after that conversation where I called them, I went over everything, found out my mom doesn't qualify for health insurance. The only thing right now she qualifies for Medicaid, and it could take her anywhere between 6 months to 2 years to get her disability. Even though they say they are pushing it through quick enough, there still is a chance. And I can hire a disability lawyer, but if I hire a disability lawyer, they're going to take part of her disability. I don't know how much disability my mom even has to sacrifice. So, which I may just have to end up sacrificing, depending on how long the case is, and yeah, because what I think may happen is that I'm going to combine me and my mother income, and I'm just going to buy a house. So I that's what I've been thinking, that a house for Aurora to be in, if because I want to move. I would love to move to another location, but I also want a place for Aurora to stay at. It's a place that she's comfortable. So I think I might buy a nice house in a nice area and have my mom and Aurora stay there once my mom's healthy enough, and then I can leave. But anyway, getting back to that, getting back to the story at hand. Um, so yesterday after I talked to her, and before I knew that my mom couldn't qualify for insurance, she was like, "Oh, Monday just bring me her insurance cards. We'll scan them in the system, and no problem, right?" So I was like, "Okay." So I ended up Friday said, "You know what? Let me talk to some other social workers because this isn't normal, and this isn't normal either. This is not normal at all." So it looks like I'm gonna have to get that glue. But I talked to this girl, social worker named Cindy, who was very helpful, who told me that be careful when applying for health insurance. She said that right now, if I was me, I wouldn't apply for health insurance because everything is free for my mom. She doesn't worry about transportation; it's free. She don't have to worry about no co-payments or anything like that because it's free. And if I get to sign up with health insurance, there's a good chance that I won't have to get co-pays. Transportation won't be free. And she also told me to go to advanced. Um, I got her paper with her password and stuff like that, but she told me to go onto her advanced page and qualify for food stamps and whatnot. So buying her food will be separate. Like it won't be something that's extra taxing to me, which I was like, oh, okay, wow, thanks. Then later on, I talked to a guy named Carl who was like, don't worry about it. Um, he was making sure what at home care does my mom qualify for, and I was like, you have done so much more than Susan have within the past whatever than she has the whole month. I mean, I understand you get people that come in and come, you have patients that are just rotating, but it all depends on setting you up on a road, um, on a road to failure, on a road to success or a road to failure. And right now that I've talked to these other two people, I feel like I'm a little bit back on the road to success. There's a whole lot of videos I gotta watch. I gotta be really watch my temper. But I think that me and my mom will work out. It's just gonna take a while. It's gonna take probably a lot of breakdowns from me and her. A lot of tears. A lot of cheers. But I think we're gonna get through it. She'll have her own place to stay for now. I have my own place to stay. Once I can get her standing and putting some weight on her feet, then we can go to disability, or then she can go to rehab. And then once she gets her disability again, she can go to rehab, and then more things will open up for her. So that's what we're waiting for. Monday morning, I don't think I'm gonna go see her, but I need someone to see her because her mood get kind of flat when you don't see her. You know what I mean? It's someone that's in the hospital. Um, they need to be seen. I try to be there as much as possible, but um, that can become very expensive. And at the same time, I'm trying to get my business going, and and some person was like, I didn't even think of it. I mean, I've never thought of not taking care of my mom. I mean, even when I was a child, I knew one day that this would happen. One day I would take care of my mom. One day my mom wouldn't be able to get up. I'm the only child. Who else is gonna do it, right? I mean, it's just to me, it's da 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 da. And my this lady in the hospital, she was like, "Well, you didn't have to do that." And I'm thinking like, who the fuck, who else is gonna do it? And she was like, "You could have left your mom to the state." And I'm like, wow, because there are some people like that. There are some people that do get left to the state, and that's sad. But moving along, if you watch this video, please subscribe. It's not always that bad. And this is my failure. I like to show y'all my failures because I am not a professional. I am someone, I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. So, you've seen the first yellow, but this is the gold I'm going for. So, I'm going to end up getting that. I'm going to probably get the adhesive glue so I can get my pole up probably today or Monday. A lot of things to do on Monday. I got to run to the Social Security office, get an appointment date, then get, I think, a mini fridge, and so I can get some insurance. I just got a whole lot of stuff to unpack and back up again. But thank you so much for being there. Subscribe. Usually it's just crafting, vlogging. I want to try to get my vlogs back up. I do have a couple of vlogs of me going back and forth to the hospital. And love you. Bye.